welcome to your slow down practice. My name's Melissa. I'm going to be your guide. All you'll need for this practice is a cushion. I've got mine propped up underneath my sits bones right now. I recommend you do the same as we're going to start our practice in a seated position. Now, if you don't have a chip foam block or traditional yoga props, feel free to use anything around the house like a cushion, a rolled up blanket, or anything that feels adaptable for your practice to help support your body in any way that you need. Once you have made yourself comfortable and ready, find yourself in a tall seat. Sits bones are anchoring down into your cushion or prop, or maybe they're down into the ground if you don't need a cushion or prop to help you sit upright. And once you arrive here, just gently closing down the eyes, softening the shoulders, and as best you can, encourage the hips and buttocks to soften as well. Finding a bit of duality, polarity in the practice of softening with the action or the activity through the spine. Maybe feeling a little bit of activity and action, engagement through the belly. Taking a nice big breath in. A nice easy breath out. Just slowly starting to center your awareness, your attention onto your breathing. And you can just observe the breath as it naturally flows, or if you have the desire, maybe start to stretch the breath. Start to stretch the body from the inside out, from the lungs outward. Maybe finding expansion of the breath to 6 to 8 seconds as you inhale. 6 to 8 seconds as you exhale. Now your breath is going to be the anchor point for your entire practice. Naturally, your mind will wander, no doubt. That's okay. As often as you need to, just gently and compassionately bring yourself back to attention and to focus onto your breath. Your breath will also be the undercurrent of your practice, so allowing yourself to move in rhythm and in pace with your breath. If ever I move too quickly or maybe even too slowly, let your breath really be the guide. Let it set the pace for your practice as we move together. 2 more breaths here. And when you're ready, you can gently flutter open your eyes, but keep your gaze nice and soft, maybe looking down towards the ground or the tip of your nose. You're going to rock yourself off your sits prop. Just place it off to the side. We may use it later in your practice. Making our way to hands and knees, tabletop position. Wrists are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips, and as we come to this new shape, maybe just finding a little bit of movement here in whatever way feels good for you before settling into your tabletop position. Now you can tuck the toes under here, start to feel an opening across the bottoms of your feet. As you inhale, taking your right pinky finger to the mat, slowly start to slide your right arm forward. As you do this, gentle bend into your left elbow as you bow the head and the heart towards the earth. Feeling that right armpit yawning open, maybe feeling a little stretch to the upper back. On your next inhale, gently pull the arm back, bring your palm back under your shoulders, your shoulders in line with your hips. Take an inhale. As you exhale, left fingertips start to reach forward. A slight bend in your right elbow as you yawn the left armpit open. Bow the head and the heart down towards the earth. Keep your sits bones aiming up nice and high to the sky. Take an inhale. With your exhale this time, drawing your arm back under your shoulder. We're going to keep going with this flow here. Right arm reaching, continuing with your breath here. And then slowly drawing the hand back under the shoulder. Take an inhale. And exhale, gently working your way to the other side, yawning left armpit open, bowing head and heart. And slowly drawing in the belly, drawing the hand underneath the shoulders. As you inhale, lift your tail up, chest up, chin up, eyes up. And as you exhale, keeping the toes tucked under, press the earth away as you round the spine, tuck tailbone, tuck chin. And let's do this a few more times, moving through cat-cow at your own rhythm, your own pace. One more big breath in. And steady breath out. Gently untuck the toes as you inhale. As you exhale, slide the sits bones back to the heels and find child's pose. And these moments of pause throughout our practice where we just kind of sit and soften into a posture is really an opportunity for you to just reconnect with your breath. So as I mentioned at the top of the practice, the mind tends to wander, especially as we start to take movement and motion. So anytime we take a moment of pause or stillness, use that opportunity to really ground yourself and anchor yourself back into your breath. Let's take 2 more rounds here. On your next inhale, lift your gaze, look towards the top of your mat. And as you exhale, caterpillar yourself forward, gliding onto the belly, extending your legs long behind you. Stack your palms, one on top of another, forearms and elbows grounded, and then release your forehead down to stacked palms. As you inhale, you're going to press down through the palms and the forearms, lift your head and your heart to hover just above the mat. Stretch the energy out long through your toes. And then as you exhale, gently float the head, the heart, release tension through the legs. Let's do that 2 more times. As you inhale, reach out through your toes. Press down through the pubic bone as you lift your head and your heart just to a hover. And then exhale, slowly soften the entire body as you come down to earth. Last time, inhale. Energy out through the toes. A little bit of tension through the buttocks as I root my pubic bone down, lifting head and heart. And exhale to gently soften back down. Hands under the shoulders. Take an inhale as you rise to tabletop position. As you exhale, reorganize wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. As you inhale, slide your right leg back behind you. And as you exhale, bring the right leg to float in line with the right sits bone. And we'll do the same thing with the left arm. Inhale to slide the left fingertips ahead of you. And exhale to reach the left arm in line with the left shoulder. Take a nice big breath in. Reach the energy out through your fingers and toes. And as you exhale, round the spine, bringing knee to elbow underneath the belly button. Inhale as you elongate. Find length through arm and leg, energy out through fingertips and toes. Exhale, rounding the spine, tucking tailbone, tucking chin as you draw knee and elbow under belly button. One last time, inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Inhale, finding length here. Reach the hand and the foot. As you exhale, place your left hand underneath your left shoulder. Take another big breath in here. As you exhale, crab step your right foot to just outside your right pinky finger. Then you're going to heel toe that foot inward, stacking your shoulder over your knee, maybe sliding the back knee back a little bit. And if you need to pad up or cushion that back leg, go ahead and grab your pillow, slide it under your back knee. With an inhale, head, heart, fingertips lift up towards the sky. As you exhale, maybe find a bit of softening into the hips here as you gently release forward and down. Take an inhale as you reach the arms up. As you exhale, tipping the crown forward on the diagonal, arms come down and back in line with the ribs as you take this long line from crown to heel. Take an inhale, sweep the head, the heart, fingertips up towards the sky. Shoulders nice and soft. And exhale, reaching long in the diagonal through the crown, arms reaching in the same direction as the toes. Let's do that a few more times. Inhale, reaching head, heart, fingertips to the sky. Exhale, forward and down. We're going to take a few more rounds through this flow. If you'd like, tuck the back toes. Inhale here to lift the head, the heart, the fingertips, and maybe ignite that back leg to also lift your back knee up off the earth. As you exhale, same thing, tip forward, arms in line with the ribs. 2 more times here. Inhale and exhale. Last one. Inhale and exhale. Take an inhale, sweep fingertips up towards the sky, soften the shoulders. As you exhale, fingertips come down to tent on the earth. Now you may take one big step or maybe a few hops as you step your left foot forward to meet the right, arrive in a forward fold. Hands to shins, inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, sigh it out, fold forward. Let's root to rise, coming down as you ground through your feet and rise up through head, heart, and hands to sky. And as you exhale, bring hands to heart center. One more time, inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. As you exhale this time, soften the knees as you quietly sit down into your chair. Take a nice big breath in. And as you exhale, maybe soften a little deeper here. Inhale, root to rise, come all the way up to stand tall, extended mountain pose. As you exhale, gently diving forward, bring the fingertips back to the earth. Hands to shins, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Plant your palms to the mat, take an inhale as you step right foot, then left foot back, and as you exhale, shift the hips back. Lift the sits bones up towards the sky, soft bend into the knees as we find a downward facing dog. From here, if you'd like, you can pedal the heels, sway the hips, find a bit of movement here that feels good. Beautiful, remaining still here, soft bend into the knees as you inhale. Lift your sits bones a little higher towards the sky. And as you exhale, really encourage the belly and the chest to soften towards the thighs. Inhale, come up high onto your toes. As you exhale, ripple yourself forward to plank pose, top of a push-up. Now, option here, as you inhale, you can lower the knees down towards the ground. As you exhale, lower right forearm and then left as you lower down to low plank pose. If the knees are on the ground, tuck the toes under and maybe float the knees up to bring yourself into this low plank. Of course, the knees can stay grounded if that's the variation that works best for your body here. We're going to take just one more big breath in and a steady breath out. Quietly lower the knees down as you inhale. Untuck the toes. Spiral the forearms to parallel, palms down to the earth, and as you exhale, soften your belly with control, bring it down to the earth. Inhale to lift your head and chest up slightly, and as you exhale, just settling into Sphinx pose. Catching a bit of sun on my skin, it's quite lovely. Take an inhale here as you lift the head and heart a little bit higher. As you exhale, stack your palms, take your elbows wide and lower the forearms, elbows, heart, and head down to the earth. Again, just the head and the heart hover here. As you inhale, energy out through the toes as you bring your head, your heart to float up. And exhale as you gently come back down. Hands slide under the shoulders. Take an inhale as you rise to tabletop position. As you exhale, taking a moment to just organize wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Beautiful. This time as you inhale, slide your left toes long behind you. And as you exhale, float your left leg in line with your left sits bone. Inhale, reaching your right fingertips long ahead of you, and exhale, keep reaching out through the fingertips as you bring your right arm to hover in line with the right shoulder. One more big breath in, finding that length through fingers and toes, and as you exhale, around the spine, bringing knee to elbow to meet underneath the belly button. Take an inhale, lengthen. Exhale to round. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Inhale, reaching hand and foot. Keep the leg extended and hovering. As you exhale, right palm comes just underneath the right shoulder. Again, deep inhale here. And as you exhale, crab step, left foot this time to outside left pinky finger. Heel toe that foot inward so that your left shoulder stacks over your left knee. And then if you need to, just slide that back knee back a little bit, setting the foundation for your low lunge position. When you're ready, take an inhale, float the head, the heart up, hands reach skyward. As you exhale, maybe soften a little deeper into your lunge. If you can, squeeze the inner thighs together slightly, feel a little engagement there. Let's take our flow once more. Inhale, stretching up a little bit higher. As you exhale, crown tips on the angle, arms come down and back. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. Inhale and exhale. Once again, option here as you inhale, lift the head, the heart, maybe charge up the back leg. Exhale, continuing with your flow here in the high lunge variation. Again, inhale, lifting head, heart, and hands. Exhale. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Take an inhale, sweep the arms up. As you exhale, fingertips tent on the earth. Again, maybe it's a mini hop or one big step as you breathe in, and as you breathe out, arrive in your forward fold. Root to rise, grounding down through the feet as you lift up through the crown, through the hands, through the heart. As you exhale, hands gently gather at heart center. Take an inhale here and an exhale. Take an inhale here, sweep the arms up overhead. As you exhale, quietly soften into your chair. Legs hold steady here in your chair. Take an inhale as you lift the head and heart up a little higher. As you exhale, same thing, sweeping the arms back and down. This time your spine comes into flat back, arms parallel to the hips. Take an inhale, sweep the head and chest up, arms come up, stay seated in your chair. Exhale, maybe even sitting a little deeper as you come down to flat back, arms alongside the body. We've got two more of these. Inhale and exhale. Last one, inhale and exhale. Take an inhale, straighten up the legs as you reach all the way up to the sky, extended mountain pose. As you exhale, hands to heart center. Take an inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, gently dive yourself forward, yogi bow. Hands to shins, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, generous bend to the knees as palms find the earth. Step back with your left foot, then your right foot as you inhale. And as you exhale, shift the hips back, lift the sits bones up, soft bend into the knees as you settle into your downward dog. Inhale to lift the sits bones a little bit higher. Exhale, encourage belly and chest to move to the thighs. Inhale, come up high onto your toes. As you exhale, ripple yourself forward, high plank, top of a push-up. Totally normal. If you have to shimmy your toes back a little bit, that's okay. Make any adjustment you need here. Again, option to lower the knees down if you need. We're going to take one more big breath in here and a steady breath out. Again, knees lower if you need them to. Otherwise, lowering down one forearm and then the other as you breathe in. As you breathe out, arriving in your low plank. Take again a big breath in, option to lower the knees down. You're going to continuously hug the belly in, particularly if your knees aren't lowered. And as you exhale, slowly draw the head, the heart forward and up. Keep the toes tucked under as you quietly lower the pelvis down to the mat. Once your pubic bone meets the mat, extend your 10 toes behind you. Bring your forearms to parallel, palms to the earth, and settle into Sphinx pose. Take an inhale, lift the head, the heart a little bit higher. As you exhale, drawing the shoulders back and down. Palms stack on top of each other. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, elbows spiral wide while you slowly lower your head, your heart, and your forehead down to stacked palms. Taking an inhale, hover the head and heart, and this time, if you'd like, press down through the palms. Maybe you also extend the elbows. Lift the forearms off the mat and take your head and heart a little bit higher as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, slowly bending at the elbows, bringing the forearms, the elbows, and then the forehead down to the mat. Let's do that a few more times. Just options for you here. You can stay a little bit lower. Maybe you don't come up as high. That's great. And exhale to slowly soften. And last time, inhale. Maybe you come up all the way. You choose here. Breathing in. And exhale to slowly ground down. Hands under the shoulders. Take an inhale as you rise to tabletop once again. As you exhale, this time sliding all the way back to child's pose. Maybe you stack your fists or your palms, creating a little ledge for yourself under your forehead. Or maybe the arms wrap around the outer edges of your body, forehead grounds down, as you just take this variation of child's pose here. Whichever you've chosen, again, utilizing this opportunity to re-meet your breath. Breath can only happen in the present moment. So if you are conscious of the breath, you're conscious of the present moment, you're in the here and now. So breathe deep, breathe intentionally, and really tether yourself to each breath as you experience it. Let's take 2 more breaths here. And you're going to tense your fingertips just to the outer edges of your knees. Go slow as you gently roll through the spine. Come to sit up on your shins just momentarily. And you're going to slide down to one bum cheek. Swing your legs in front of you. If you're towards the back of your mat, just shimmy yourself forward here. Bring your big toes in line with the top edge or short edge of your mat. Place each palm on each knee. Take an inhale as you lift the chest up, chin up, eyes up. And as you exhale, rolling over the sits bones, round the spine, chin drips to the chest as the arms extend. Take again an inhale, lift chest up, chin up, eyes up. Exhaling to round. Continuing with your breath flow here. We'll move through this a few more times, then we're going to lower down to the mat. If you want to take this opportunity here to just throw on some socks, a sweater, extra layers, feel free to do that and then rejoin us in this seated cat-cow flow before we make our way down to the mat. If you're not throwing on any layers, just continuing to move and breathe here. Keeping the eyes closed if possible, if it feels safe for you. And as best you can, let your breath really guide the movement. Trying not to let your mind steer the action, take control, but really feeling into your body and moving as you breathe. Let's take just 2 more breaths here. One more time. And as you exhale, rolling over the sits bones, round the spine, lengthen the arms. Option to release your hands from your knees. We're then using the strength of our abdominals to control the movement on the way down. Another option is to stretch your legs long, a little bit more challenging here as you roll down through the spine. Taking it nice and slow, moving bone by bone. And you're aiming for the low back to meet the mat first, then the middle back, then the upper back. Head and shoulders are last to meet the mat. When they do, hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a good squeeze here. Maybe a gentle rock from shoulder to shoulder, hip to hip. Then finding stillness in the center, take a big breath into your upper chest. As you exhale, forehead rises to meet the knees, curling up nice and small. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, lower your head and shoulders down. Lower your left foot down to the ground and cross your right ankle on top of your left knee. Now with the right palm, you may gently just guide the knee away from the shoulder and the hip. And this might feel like enough of a stretch, enough sensation for you here through the outer hip, maybe even through your thigh. If you want a little more sensation, a little more depth to this stretch, then you're going to interlace your fingers behind your left thigh or onto your left shin as you draw both your knees and right ankle in towards your chest. If you've chosen this variation, take a nice big breath in. And as you exhale, see if you can just gently draw the knees a little closer by relaxing your shoulders down into the mat, maybe a gentle bend into the elbows. And again, just like at the top of our practice, this is about finding a delicate balance between effort and ease, never working harder than we need to. And really understanding that those two things can exist at the same time. Hard work and ease, action and rest. These dualities exist on our mat, in our bodies, and they also exist in our lives. When people talk about finding balance, this is often what they're referring to. We're really trying to find a balance of action and rest, effort and ease. So let's practice that in the body now. Softening shoulders and maybe even just softening the expression on your face, softening the toes. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Take 1 more big full breath in. As you exhale, gently release your grip from your shin or your thigh. Release left foot down to the ground. Uncross right ankle from left knee. Take both feet out wide to the long edges of your mat and take your arms out wide like airplane wings. Taking an inhale here. And then with your exhale, let your knees just drip over to the left. Keeping your feet staggered here. We're just taking a gentle twist into the back. If it feels safe for your neck, you might spiral your gaze over to the right-hand side. Closing your eyes and just softening here. Breathe. And the sunshine feels amazing. Maybe just noticing the sensation, the experience, not only in the internal body, but what's happening at the surface of your skin. Taking 1 more big breath in. And as you exhale, gently rolling across the back of the skull, lift your gaze back up to the sky. On your next inhale, 1 knee at a time lifts up towards the sky, and as you exhale, you gently roll onto your back. If you need a bit of release, you can maybe rock the knees from side to side, or gently hug the knees into the chest and rock the whole shape, shoulder to shoulder, hip to hip. Finding stillness in the center, hugging knees to chest, take an inhale into your upper chest. As you exhale, forehead rises to the knees. Taking a big breath in. And as you exhale, lower head and shoulders down. Lower right foot down to the ground, cross left ankle over right knee. Same variation or same starting position here. Maybe the left knee the left palm just gently presses against the left knee, drawing that knee away from the shoulder, away from the hip. Already here, even though the foot is grounded, still finding a bit of ease through the shoulders, through the face, through the neck, and the jaw. And again, you're welcome to stay here, or if you prefer, maybe weaving fingers behind your right thigh or onto your right shin as you come into the full expression of figure 4 or eye of the needle. Still softening the shoulders as best you can, softening around the edges and just breathing. Staying tethered, staying aware of each breath. And let's take 2 more breaths here. One more big breath in. As you exhale slowly, once again, break free your hands, break free from that bind and release your right foot down to the ground. Arms slowly come out wide like airplane wings, uncrossing left ankle from right knee, and the feet go mat width apart out to the long edges of your mat. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, just gently letting the knees drip over to the right hand side. Again, if it feels safe and comfortable on your neck, you can spiral your gaze looking over to the left-hand side at your outstretched left arm. Take an inhale to greet this new shape, and as you exhale, just soften here and settle. Breathe. On your next inhale, just preparing to rise. As you exhale, just spiraling the gaze, rolling across the back of your skull, eyes to the sky. Inhale, one knee at a time, lifts up to the sky, and as you exhale, settle onto the back body. Once again, you might want to take a gentle rinse from side to side, or hug the knees into the chest, each palm on each knee. Big breath into the upper chest. As you exhale, forehead rises to meet the knees. Take one more big breath in as you curl up nice and small. And as you exhale, one more time, lowering head and shoulders down and lowering feet down to the mat. Ooh, I'm landing in Shavasana at the perfect time here. Whatever you need here to just allow yourself to soften, you're welcome to plant feet to the earth. And again, they walk mat width apart, maybe relaxing the knees in towards each other. Or perhaps the legs extend long, maybe draping a blanket over yourself. putting on your socks and sweaters if you haven't had a chance yet. And I invite you just to place your palms somewhere on your body. It can be the thighs, across the belly, maybe on the heart. Just allowing the back of the arms, the shoulders to really ground down into the earth. Taking a big breath in to now greet the absence of shape, the absence of posture. And as you exhale, really inviting all the muscles, the tissues, the bones to soften and melt. Arriving at the most important part of your practice here. This is an opportunity for all the work that you've done, all the effort to settle and to dissolve away into the ease of being you. All that you are, as you are, is perfect in this moment. So just settle into your skin, into your body. Allow yourself to be supported by the earth beneath you. Take a moment to acknowledge how amazing it is to be you. And as our practice comes full circle, we're reminded of the polarity, the existence of both effort and ease in our bodies, in our practice, in our lives. So let that wisdom, that knowledge that you've gained through this practice, that reminder, just settle into your body. An integration, an embodiment of all that we've practiced here today. And then when you're ready, start to wiggle into your fingers and toes. Now, if you have a bit of time and space and you want to linger here on your mat a little longer, absolutely feel free. You can remain in stillness for as long as you need. Maybe save these cues for later when you're ready to rise. Once you've wiggled into the fingers and toes, maybe gently taking the head from side to side as you slowly invite more movement into the body at the ankles, the wrists, the knees, and the elbows. Maybe a gentle rock of the body from side to side. Keep inviting more movement into the body as you feel comfortable, as you feel ready. And then you can roll to your right hand side and gently press yourself up to seated as you feel ready. If you prefer to just close out your practice on your back, on your mat, you're welcome to. I'm going to grab my cushion once more and just prop myself up. Again, the practice comes full circle as we just arrive here once again in our tall seat. I once again just invite you to close the eyes. Hands can fold in the lap or rest on the thighs. Pausing again for a moment, this time of gratitude to our bodies, to this practice. I currently am residing in Vancouver. This practice was filmed in Vancouver, so I acknowledge that I am on the unceded territory of the Musqueam, Tsleil-Waututh, and Squamish Nation people. I encourage you to find out whose land you have settled on, whose land you have the privilege of living, breathing, and moving on for yourself as well. So we acknowledge the land. We acknowledge that we are settlers, most likely, depending on where you're practicing on this land. I join my palms together at heart center in gratitude to you for joining me in this practice and allowing me to guide you through. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I can't wait to see you again soon. Take really good care.